Hey everyone, Darren here, and I'm here in the global GEG Streamyard to go through, alongside Luis and Stacey, a nice fun tutorial to get us used to operating behind the scenes. And as you can already see here in Streamyard, I'm just going to move myself out of the way a little bit there. Here we've got myself and I'm on screen so you can hear me and my mic's on, but then we've got Luis and we've got Stacey in the background, and no matter how much they scream and shout, they're not in the stream, so they can't be heard. So they're using this private chat in the background here to make it clear. I think probably I did my hair and makeup especially. I think Luis might be logged in as Stacey. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them both on screen to start off with. Absolutely right. So we're going to bring Luis on. There's Luis. We'll leave Stacey off for a little bit. Hey, Luis, you all right?
Hey, right.
I thought I'd get the like-minded wackos on first, and we can explain that this is going to be a fun tutorial, not quite as like crazy as the last one, but exactly. But as we were saying earlier, we learn from our mistakes, don't we? And things go wrong, and it's important to be the calm, as Steph would like to say. Steph R, that is, not the other one. Stacey's, as you can see there, is waving her arms around in the background. She can't hear anything. So should we bring her on or should we leave her off? What do you reckon?
I don't know.
She's gonna. I think she's gonna. Well, she's gonna do the serious bits, isn't she? So we probably should have her on here. Let's bring her in.
Yeah, let's
Hey, Stacey. Hiya. Yeah, you're in. We can hear you now, yeah. We was just explaining that obviously Luis and I are going to do all the serious stuff, and then you're going to do all the fun bits, yeah?
You're the comedy team.
Absolutely, too right. So Stacey's sharing her screen for us, and she's got the Global GEG Streamyard team protocols, which she's so kindly put together, showing on the screen for us. So Stacey's brought her screen up onto, basically she's pressed this button that you can see here where my mouse is, share screen, and because she's logged in as info, she can bring that on and off screen. Now if you're dealing with a guest who's just logged in as a guest, they won't be able to bring their screen on and off. They'll be able to park it here by clicking share screen, but then it's down to us to move them on and off the screen. So there's a slight difference between it being a guest or someone who's logged in as info. Isn't that right, Luis?
When there's more than one person in as info, you have to agree on who's going to put people in and out, because what's going to happen is that everybody's going to want to press the button at the same time, and everything's going to go a little bit crazy.
That's right. Everybody wants the power, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's really all we need to worry about. As you can see, when we hover over the bottom here, we've got the different people in the stream, and we can just remove those people from the stream. So if I remove Luis now, immediately, I will bring you back, Luis, don't worry. If I remove Luis, he gets kind of greyed out. We can't hear him. He can do whatever. He can still talk to us in the chat, but he can't be heard. As soon as I add him back into the stream, we've got him here. And there we go. And we've got lots of different layouts. So we can choose to see different layouts of people on screen as we go through, including big person, little screen, little person, big screen, no people at all. So we've got lots of different options. Personally, I like that one. I like that one as an option. But,
And the main reason for this part of the broadcast is I'm going to refer only to the protocols in passing. Everybody can read these at their leisure. If you were at our comedy presentation yesterday, which was Global GEG Streamyard team Saturday Night Live version, we went through this extensively, but everything you need to know is in this document. So I'm just going to go over the Global GEG Streamyard team protocols doc. As you saw at our comedy event yesterday, that's Global GEG Saturday Night Live style. We did go over this quite a bit, but this doc is very fluid. And for example, we had an error today with one of our broadcasts that thankfully Hans Tolman brought to light. And we need to make sure that our guests know that that is their link to get in the broadcast studio. Otherwise, your guests, the viewers start coming into your broadcast studio. So that's articulated in the doc. So just keep looking at the doc for more updates. The main thing is to remember that you're a stage manager, and that while your event hosts are bringing the content and the gig is theirs, you're the stage manager. You're responsible for the whole event. And when you exude calm, everything runs smoothly. And if it's falling apart around you, they don't know it. So whatever you're putting in and however you're fixing is fine. As long as you look like this is normal, they will not be worried at all. And then again, because we are an educator group, feel free to use it as a teaching moment. We were very clear that about the mistake of giving out the broadcast link. And it was a really great way to say, hey, sorry you were removed from this broadcast. This is why, so that they knew what was happening. So definitely teach through the errors that you might see. Again, we'd like to stress that you should be a team. There should be a team of 2 people running StreamYard, because there's lots of different things. And unless you're an 8-armed octopus or 8-legged spider, you're going to have trouble getting everything all at once. There are 2 wonderful how-to videos from StreamYard that Darren's brought to us. So I threw those in the doc. When you put comments on here, I add everybody's suggestions. Big shout out to staff Rosking for suggesting the word stage manager for the people that are managing the broadcast. So
I still prefer fluffer, if I'm honest.
Good job. The document tells you how to log in, and the document explains that before you have your event, you want to have outreach with the event host, so the people bringing the content. Up to an hour before, you can meet in StreamYard and go through things with them, or you can communicate via email. When you are the stage manager,
you can even log in to look around a day before you want. As long as the event is created, you can just poke around if you want.
Absolutely. And when you're the stage manager,
don't press the big blue button. That's it.
Well, this one here that says go live.
Yeah, that one.
Don't press that one.
No, not yet.
At least it's not a big red button.
The big thing is when you're the stage manager, remember that you're responsible for giving out those links to your guests. So we've created a letter that you will email. The link is right here in the link to StreamYard section, and you can see email guests 1 day prior. The template is a letter form that you can just copy and paste. Today we added the term, please do not give this link to your, publicize it, because this is your personal link to get into our broadcast studio. Use the link to YouTube for the public. So because of that clarification today. And then there's some screenshots in here. When you do your outreach, it's really important. And Darren will go over this, demonstrating how to do this. But you want to get all the material, all the media and all the material uploaded into StreamYard prior to the event. So everything is loaded as overlays and it will go smoothly. Other best tips we'll talk about is one person will load the slides. The media is in another load, because you don't want to run the media off the slides because you'll bog it down. Each role is defined in here to help you organize your event. You're the stage manager. It's your show. So please don't feel you're being directed in any one way, but that these are roles that we've decided are very, very important. And so use those as you're doing your magic on screen. Again, you're failing forward. There's only a couple of rules. Please be very careful of copyright violations. We can lose our YouTube channel. Please be very careful. There should never be profanity online on a live event, because then we have to mark our video as 18 and older, and that really inhibits our reach. So those are super easy to avoid. And then giving people, one of your stage managers, the single role to turn the broadcast on and off, that really helps. And giving one of the stage managers the role to put somebody on screen and off, that really helps with confusion. And then one of the stage managers is the one that highlights comments. So you guys can decide that the way you like. The other thing I want to talk about is how do you sign up for an event? This tab here called scheduling will open up the screen for, that'll open up our spreadsheet that you've seen a million times. I'm going to share that really fast because we want you to sign up for loads of things. But as a general practice, if you don't mind, please sign up for just 2 a month. I know some of us are super excited to do this, but if you do that, that will help others feel okay to enter that space and try to host as well. So if you fill in your name 50 times because you're super helpful, we love you for that. But other people might be inhibited from putting their name in there. So put it in for 2 a month and then watch the screen, the spreadsheet, and fill in those gaps as needed. We want you to be there more than once or twice a month. But if you leave those spaces open, other people who might not be quite as extroverted won't feel inhibited from supporting a broadcast. Other than that, take it away, Darren.
Thanks, Stacey. I'm just catching up and doing a little bit of organising with Luis here because we were just trying to sort out exactly who's our stage manager. And we're both decided we think it's you because you're very strict. And we're both very silly. So, first of all, I just want to take everyone through kind of like the layout of what you can see on screen here. All right. So we're going to start at the bottom and we're going to kind of work our way around in a clockwise fashion because we're not going to go anti-clockwise because it's anti-clockwise. Okay. So we're going to go clockwise because I'm very anti going anti-clockwise. So down at the very bottom, we've obviously got leave studio. If you're the stage manager, don't do that. Okay. Very simple. Don't leave the studio until everyone else has left the studio, unless your computer crashes like mine did earlier. Yeah, absolutely. It would be considered rude, in fact, to leave the studio before everyone else. So don't do that. You've then got the button to the left here which says invite, and that's how you can find the link to send to presenters if you can't already find them. So if you log into Streamyard at any point in the future, as soon as the Streamyard is set up, if you click here on invite, it will give you here the Streamyard link and you can copy that to the clipboard and send it to them, making sure that they, let me get this right, don't share it with the whole world. That's right, isn't it, Stacey? Stacey's on mute. Yep, there we go. Okay, so don't share that link with the whole world. That's just for the people coming backstage, all right, into the green room, if you like, where all the drinks and all the nice food is and all that kind of stuff. Okay. If you are going to be sharing your screen, obviously you can click here, share screen, and you can choose as you normally do, same as we used to in Meet and things like that, between your entire screen, your application window or a Chrome tab. And if you are sharing a Chrome tab, you do have a little checkbox down the bottom left-hand side to share audio. So if for any reason somebody has got a slideshow that they want to present and it's got audio in it, but it's not an overlay, then you can use the Chrome tab and share the audio to do that. Okay. And then it just comes up to the bottom here. Go on, Luis. What was that?
Bear one thing in mind.
Yeah.
Is if you are logged in as info, if you're the host, and you decide to share your screen, what will happen is exactly what I'm doing right now. Your screen will take over whatever it is that was already there.
Yes.
So if you do that by mistake, which has happened a lot, you'll be taking over whatever it is that was there. So it would also be considered bad form.
Absolutely.
So just be mindful of, not doing it.
So the best thing to do is to speak to the presenters before the show when you come on that half an hour early, okay, and find out whether they want to share their own screen or whether they want you to present. And that way you don't end up having to swap backwards and forwards between screens, okay? You've then got the option there for your different cameras and your microphones. So you can just make sure you've got your right camera on and you can check that your definition's okay, and you can check your audio and make sure that's working and test it so that you can hear it and you can see the little green dots bumping up and down, so that you know that your sound and your camera is working correctly. You've got the option there to stop the camera if you want to, and the option as well to mute yourself if you want to, okay? But you're only going to be heard on the broadcast if you're on the stream, like the three of us are at the moment. If I was to take myself off of the stream and we were live, they wouldn't be able to hear me, okay? Like that, okay? It's as simple as that, okay? So that's the bottom there, and then we head round, and there's a nice little duck in the corner with some earphones on. He doesn't do anything at all. We just wave to him and be nice to the duck. And then we head along the top, and we've got an edit button, which we don't need to play with, okay? I think Luis seems to be doing some kind of impression of a naked duck puppet. Look like it.
No,
there we go.
I'm trying to point to the thing, but the camera's reversed. I don't know.
Yeah, it's over there. Okay. So then we've got this little drop down, and you can see here a global GEG icon with a little YouTube icon and a drop down next to it. And it tells us that we're ready to go live. And if we want to, we can view it on YouTube. But again, we don't need to play around with that. Then the big blue button, the one that Luis said we mustn't press, is the one that we press to go live. Okay. Remembering that there's about a 15 to 20-second delay. So if we want to go live bang on the hour, we need to be pressing that go live about 20 seconds before the hour. And that way we look like we're on time and everybody's happy. Okay. We're then going to come down this right-hand bar, and the first one we see is comments. And what you will see in comments is any comments that are made via our social media platforms that the event is being streamed to. So that includes Periscope through Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and eventually, once they get their act together, also LinkedIn as well. So all of them will come up there, and you'll know which platform they've come from because you'll get the little logo. It'll either be the YouTube logo and things like that, or it will be the Facebook logo. So if you are stage managing and you post a comment, you will come up as Global GEG, as Luis has done there. And if you want to show that comment on screen, all you need to do is hover over it and click show, and it pops up on the screen here. Okay. And if you want to hide it again, you can just click hide. So it's just show and hide. But if someone else had commented and say, for example, they'd put something a bit naughty, I know people do. Okay. It has. We've told them to send us those links directly so that there's no problems, but they keep putting them through our social media, so never mind. But if they do post something, it's either repetitive, they're just spamming, or they're trying to sell them their own stuff, or whatever it might be, we can come over here and there's 3 dots or a traffic light. Traffic lights, not snowmen. Hasn't got the body for a snowman. And we can click on that. Tim Minchin says something about people like that. He does, and I like that. So I'm going to show that. Look, there we go. Although someone, actually, no, I'm going to kick that out. Someone spelled my name wrong, and that's not right. So what we can see here is I've got the option to put the user in timeout. Okay. So I basically put them in the sin bin for a bit because they're naughty. Yeah. Stacey likes that one.
They'll be out for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little slap on the wrist.
Absolutely. Or if it's really offensive, we can block them completely. So we can just click on those and they won't be able to comment. And if we block them, they won't be able to rejoin either. Okay. So that's the first part. And any comment, we just click to show and hide. Okay. But we do want to be careful.
Be mindful if you actually go and block someone and then we need to unblock them.
Mm-hmm.
It is a right pain in the behind.
Yes.
So please try and put them in the sin bin or put them in timeout, and only if it's like really egregious, then please just block it.
Yeah, and the vast majority of people, once they've been put in timeout, they probably will give up and go away anyway. Okay. It is worth bearing in mind though, when we have got the screen up, say for example, if we just add in Luis's screen there, if we are popping these comments up on the screen, obviously some of them will pop up bigger than others depending on what's been written, but depending on what's on the screen, they may or may not be covering up something important. So it is important to get your idea about timing and spacing, and you might even want to change the screen layout to make it work a little bit better. So something like that, where, you know, obviously this is very, very small, so it's not an ideal layout, but you can change it around a little bit, okay? The next bit is the banners, and these are really cool. Now, in Streamyard already, we've got loads and loads of folders. There's global GEG banners. That's GEG, not GAG. There's no global GAG banners, okay? Launch banners, there's Spanish banners, weight clip banners, movie shop banners. And if we open up any of these, we can see all of the different tickers that we've got available, okay? So please keep typing all your questions in the chat. All sessions can be watched again later. And any of these, we can just pop them on screen the same as we do with the comments, okay? So global gag can pop up there, or follow us on Twitter, or, you know, these two really like each other. If you've actually got Steph and Abid on screen and people start to get worried, okay? So you, You can put any of those on at any time you like, again, being mindful of what's on the screen at the same time, okay? But equally, that could be something that presenters provide for you in advance, like a bit.ly link. So, for example, for Movie Shot earlier, Hans shared with us the Movie Shot bit.ly for people to go away and get access to the doc. It might also be a bit.ly for their slideshow or anything along those lines. But they can all be added. And you can always add a new folder if you need to for the particular event so that they don't get mixed up. But you can open up any of these folders and you can just choose any one you like. So you can make it Spanish, okay, and that one's just a block folder, and this one is a ticker. So I'm just going to show you.
I'm loving the new button. I never noticed that it was there. The hide current banner.
Yeah, hide current banner. Yeah, that wasn't there earlier. No. Absolutely. We love updates, don't we? So if I wanted to add a banner to Movie Shot, for example, all I've got to do is create banner. I can add in here just a message. Okay. Something along those lines. And I have a choice. If I leave it like that, it's just going to be a block banner on screen. So if I add that banner and show it, it just pops up like this. Or I can come back to it and I can edit it and I can make it a scrolling banner. So it's like a ticker that goes along the bottom. So I have the choice as a stage manager, which I want to do. Okay. The next bit that we need to be aware of is the branding. So before the show, talk to the presenters and choose on a brand color, because you can change that at any point and choose the style as well. So you might want a default style where it's nice and colorful like this one, or the minimal style where the color's just right on the edge of the person's name. And then you might want to match the color to the product. So for example, if we were talking about slides, you might want to go for a sort of more yellowish slide, maybe something a little bit more like that, so that it kind of fits in with the theme of the day. You've then got the option here to add some logos. So you've got a global GEG logo that you can put in the top right hand corner there. And obviously if we take that off screen, we can see that it shows up a little bit better, just catching Stacey out there. Then we've got overlays. Okay, now there we go. Actually, that's interesting. I'm just going to pause that for a second. So the next thing we want to look at is the overlays. And what you'll notice is that there's not really anything much showing here. We've got the basic Streamyard overlays that they provide. But we have got our own overlays within here, but you wouldn't necessarily see them straight away. So if you can't see the GEG overlays and the videos and things that we've uploaded, come to the top here where it says Global GEG in this little drop down, and then open it up and you can see there's lots of different platforms there, and you want to be looking for Global GEG with videos. Okay, and that opens up now to the version that's got all of our different videos within it. So we've got loads of different intro videos and outro videos. So before a broadcast, that minute beforehand, if you want to play an intro, probably what you would do is to take everyone off of screen. Okay, so I'm just going to remove everyone from the stream for a moment, including, there we go, bye Stacey. And we might choose to play Jessie's intro because it's a lovely one. And then obviously we'd be doing that just after we press the go live button. And as soon as the video stops, hey, there's Louise. And there's Stacey. There we go.
Aaron's frozen.
No, no, I'm here.
Oh, good.
There we go. So there's Louise, there's Stacey, and I'm invisible, which is always nice. Okay. So there we go. So that's the intro. Obviously, then, if the presenter wanted to bring in their stream, you add their slide to the stream and the presenters go to the side there. And then we keep an eye on the chat all the way through. We can use the private chat that we've been using all the way through to communicate between ourselves silently during the course of the show. And that works between people that are on screen and people that are off screen. So if I take Stacey off screen for a moment, Stacey's still able to communicate. And she can still respond to that, and she's waving to us and letting us know that she's okay, and she's about to type as well. So although she's not on stream, we can still communicate with each other, and we can bring her back in, and she's nodding away brilliantly there. Okay, so we're really happy from that perspective. She is really good. She is really good. Okay, so the key thing then is at the end of the broadcast to say the thank yous and everything else. So the first thing we do at the end of a broadcast is to choose an outro. There's a wonderful one that was done by a guy called Luis, who's from Barranquilla. Yeah, he's from Barranquilla, Colombia, and he's a wacko. But so to play the outro, we just click it. And we can click it to stop at any time, okay? And then finally, the last thing that we would need to post, and I can't find it at the moment because my mouse is frozen. There we go, is to pop on screen this background for, oh, no, not the background, sorry, wrong one. We say everyone off screen. There we go. And take that off. There we go, and we take everyone off screen, and we would leave the feedback on there so that we can get some feedback from people just for a sort of minute or so, and then we would end. And then Luis comes.
People see that we want feedback.
Absolutely. Okay, so we leave that there. We get the feedback from them.
Thanks, sir. Everybody's turn.
That's it. And then as soon as we finished, as soon as we're happy that broadcast has ended, that would be saying live, and we just click end broadcast, and the last thing you get is a thumbs up or a thumb down to let them know whether it's gone well or not. Okay?
Now, one thing you can bear in mind when you're transmitting is up here, you'll see a little red recording icon, and it won't show up in the screen. It'll just show up for you. So don't worry about being blocked by this over here. There's got to be a little red recording thing, and the time you've been recording, and next to it, like the amount of people who are watching, and if you got like thumbs up on Facebook. So you will see that sort of info, but that's only for the people on this side of the screen, not out on the screen.
That's it. And that's really it, isn't it?
Can you also show them when doing the comments how if you comment as Global Gay, they're going to see 3 iterations of themselves, one on Periscope, one on the other broadcast venues?
At the moment, this one's only set up for YouTube, I think.
Or YouTube. We could throw something else in there. Right?
Yeah.
Let's call Periscope.
There we go. So we've got Periscope as well. So now I can comment and say, and we can see.
I think Periscope won't say anything because we're not live yet.
No, but we do get a message on the screen that says you must be live to comment on Periscope. So we know that it's sending it out there. It will only work, though, once we've actually gone live. Okay? You will occasionally, same with Facebook. You will occasionally as well see a message that Periscope has not let you post something. And sometimes that's because it thinks you're spamming because you've posted a lot in a short space of time. But it'll gradually get used to us, I think, and realise that it's us and say, oh, yeah, let's just let them get on with it. So from that point of view, fairly straightforward. The only other thing to bear in mind is if you are working with presenters and they do provide you with videos like these, if you need to upload their video rather than play it through the slide deck, then all you need to do to upload an overlay is to come down the overlays, making sure we're in Global GED with videos, click on the plus button, and then you get the same options as you normally do to pick up any particular video and then to upload it. But it's well worth doing that sort of a day in advance, just so you're not rushing around at the last minute. So contact your presenters in advance and say, are there any videos that you want us to upload, particularly if they're going to be using audio? If they're just blank videos, silent videos, it doesn't really matter. But if you do want audio on there, it's definitely worth uploading them as an overlay. Anything from yourself, Luis?
Not that I can think of. I think you've pretty much covered everything.
Outstanding. Yeah. And guys, it's very
the first thing we were talking about is keep calm. You are the voice of reason. You are the voice of sanity.
Mm-hmm.
Even if everything is burning down, just act normal. Like right now, Darren is frozen, but nothing's happening. The show must go on.
Yep.
And the best is if Darren pops out, if his internet went down, and Luis and I don't act like it's happening, he simply logs back in again. It's like your level 1 exam. Log back in and the exam will proceed.
And it happened to me earlier.
Then that would be horrible.
Yeah.
But which is a really good reason to have two stage managers. So
yeah.
That one is for sure there.
I mean, it happened to me earlier, and it happened to me last week as well. And I just had to reboot my Mac. I came straight back in. You just restore the pages. You're back to where you started, probably within a minute and a half. So everyone else who's on board will recognise that that's happened. I just dropped a couple of people a text and said, my Mac's crashed, can you take over? And by the time I came back in, everything was done and we were on the outro video. So I managed to get away with not doing the goodbyes and the thank yous because I hate goodbyes. Okay.
It's great. It's very intuitive, and the more you get into it, you'll be able to dive into the settings tab, and we can do that as an advanced training. But it's TMI right now. You have what you need to run the broadcast, and the main thing is your event host message. The main thing is not all the bells and whistles and the pretty thingies. It's the message that's coming out from the event host, and that's the big. So you'll do great.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to poke around. The worst thing that can happen is you'll cancel the broadcast.
We're still talking about StreamYard, yeah?
Yeah. Speaking
okay.
of which, Darren, you mentioned the clock because when people have been guests, they don't see the clock and the importance of counting that down.
Absolutely. I've never seen the clock. I don't take any notice of it. But it is there. So when you click go live, you get to see the clock.
No, not this clock. That clock. The one over there.
Yeah.
The one that's counting down till time time.
Yeah, so if we're scheduled... Yeah, so you can't see it on the screen at the moment, but when we're scheduled, you'll see a clock counting down to your go live time, okay? So that will tell you that you've got 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, and so on, okay? So that will appear just up here next to where we can see all the different social media icons. So just keep an eye on that because that would obviously help you make sure you keep things on time as well. And then during the show, make sure in the private chat you give people little reminders like 3 minutes left, for example, so that they know that they can start wrapping things up and start getting towards the end of the presentation and so on. Or 5 minutes left. Yeah, I was just using 3 because I didn't want us to keep talking forever. But normally, sort of,
5 minutes, Turkish.
5, exactly. All right.
5.
Okay. Anything else from you, Stacey? Because you're in charge, you know.
What you need is in the protocol document. In fact, 3 more things that Darren and Luis were talking about. I threw them in here as well. Anyone who wants to add more tips as you learn as you go, put it in the comments and I will integrate it into the document. But otherwise, we're very grateful. This is how we show our love for our founders because they're working their tushies off around the clock, and this is going to help everybody.
And the other,
Lucy is riding a bike. She knows all about that.
It is. Bikes are really easy. One last thing I would say: if you are really nervous about it, you know, there is a free StreamYard version which doesn't have all of the capabilities, but you know, I've got the free version and we use it with short and sweet. Just get that; it doesn't cost you anything, and play around with it, and then at least then you've got kind of less risk because you can just share that to one other person. You don't even have to go live with it to play around with it, and it's not going to cost you anything. Okay.
And I put that in
live to private.
Yes, you can go live to private. Yeah, so you can actually record without going live. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much to Luis and Stacey for joining us this evening. And if you're watching this in the morning, thank you to Luis and Stacey. Exactly. If you're watching in the morning, thanks to Louise and Stacey for joining us this morning. And if you're watching it on catch up, thanks for joining us yesterday. And if it's a little bit further down the line, they've aged since they filmed this, haven't they? Blimey.
And if you're watching after the thing we did yesterday in today's mindset,
yeah,
it's not as entertaining as yesterday.
Nowhere near. But we couldn't cope with that much pain in 2 days. It's not right. Yeah. Brilliant. So
background though, Darren.
Too right. Brilliant. Thanks ever so much, guys. If you've got any questions, just drop a message in the chat. Thanks a lot.
I got it. We gotta find the outro here.
We're all professional. Hey. Will you wait, Steph? We're not all type A, you know.